really, like, you're got to be concerned about the emotional state of your employees and your clients as well. So how has teamwork changed based on the pandemic, and how do we see that working going forward? And I'd like to start with you, Andrew, again, just because you're boots on the ground. But Jim, I'd love for you to jump in there as well.
Sure. This has been an interesting time for us. Like I think every bank in Montana, with the exception of maybe one or two, we closed our lobby on March 19th, I think. And it has been really interesting to watch the staff pull together. Everyone is working really hard on catching up on things that we might have been behind on. And also, it's bizarre, but the camaraderie is actually improved. I mean, it was good before, but it's great now. Everyone feels like they're on the same team and they're under the gun and they have to sort of work together to get through this. One thing that I would note is I really believe that we are going to see a permanent change in consumer behavior. I don't think we're planning to open our lobby back up on June 1st, and I really don't think we're going to see the same amount of traffic that we were seeing before, because with our lobby closure, we had many people that have migrated to the website, to the mobile application, to the drive-through, right. And a lot of people who are just, I think, utilizing technology. And it's something I've been thinking about for a really long time, that branch banking is becoming, if not already, in the future, it will become an obsolete concept, because everyone is doing everything on their phone these days. So I think we're going to see a drop in lobby traffic, which is interesting. I mean, I could be wrong, but my belief is that consumer behavior is going to change permanently from this. So, we may have a little reallocation of duties to suit the changing behavior, but overall, at least the team here at Eagle Bank, everyone's really pulling together, and we've kind of enjoyed having the lobby closed, but we're eager to get back open too, because we know there's people that need us. So
sure. So would it be fair to say, before I ask you, Jim, would it be fair to say that in the past, even though the app and the tools were available, they weren't being used as much because there's the convenience of just going into the bank, and now that they haven't had to go into the bank and they're utilizing those tools, they're likely going to stick with them longer? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I think. I think it's not so much that it was the convenience of going to the bank. I think it was just habits. People have always gone into the bank, and now that they've been forced to use mobile applications, they probably recognize and realize that it's actually more convenient not to go to the bank. So I firmly, and I've been thinking about this well before this pandemic, but I really believe that the entire industry is moving in that direction. And I think this has probably accelerated it. And so, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's my theory.
Jim, what are your thoughts around that?
So let me echo what Andy said. So from an association perspective, where we represent the majority of community banks in Montana, I agree with Andy that this has been a time where community banks and bankers have come together and collaborated, and excellent teamwork, and everybody's pulling the oar in the same direction and all understand the mission of community banks. Let me also pair what Andy said. So, in preparation for today's meeting, I basically bullet pointed some of the benefits of, the new normal, if you will. I absolutely hate that term. But the first 3 bullet points I put down are: banks are utilizing their digital assets after preparing for online experiences and processes, exactly what Andy was just talking about. The banks are learning and adapting to new information systems. And I truly believe that this experience has allowed banks to bring added value to their customer base. As you heard Andy say, and I've heard this from banks across the spectrum, this is going to change the way that consumers do their financial banking, if you will, how they interact with financial institutions. And I think Andy's absolutely right. You're going to see a lot more online usage now, less lobby traffic. I mean, you'll still have the older generation, if you will, who are
Sure.
Used to going into the bank, but the reality is I don't think the consumer has seen any drop in the quality of service that they've been provided, either by going through a drive-through or using an online app or anything like that. And so I think I think community banks have brought real value to their consumers through this.